Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome. The wait is over.
Let's get this thing started.
Welcome, one and all across the nation and around the world. I welcome you all to episode 127 of the In or Out Sports Debate. I am your host, Drew Willingham, and we are back for another great edition. 126 down, one more to go for 127 as we are here for that. And I have to introduce a man who is a staple of the wrestling realm and one half of championship culture. A big reason why I have that custom championship that you see in all these promos. Give it up for my man, four-time Vault of Fame inductee, going for the fifth tonight, brother Hugh Scott. Welcome back there, brother.
HASTHE3RD, we in the building. Let's go.
Yeah,
how you doing, Drew?
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
And the chat is lighting up already for us too, man. We gotta say what's up to them as what's going on, y'all? Every single week. Like he said, we give them this. What's that? What's that? To all the peeps.
That's what I'm here for, the shenanigans. There we go. Let's go.
Bro, that was back when we were just little children, okay? Little children. I've been taking the D out, okay? The D is silent. Straight up children.
Little children.
That is exactly what we were back when that came out in the 90s. Sick Diggy is here. He remembers the 90s. All the way from Norway. Says, what's good? Mickey Delaney says, let's go.
Hey, Mickey.
Along with Ike is back. Yo. Happy Cyber Monday in advance. Well, happy Cyber Monday to you, too. I've already spent way too much money this past few days. You know how it is out here. We're trying to get those deals that they mark up like another 33% just to take that 33% back down, or no, they'll give you 30% off. So you're only saving 3%. I know what y'all been doing out here in the retail world. Y'all don't think we pay attention, but we do. But we're still going for that 3%. Ike says, what up, peeps? Back and forth with Mickey Delaney and Sick Diggies. He says, I'm looking forward to this debate. So am I. Because we got some great topics tonight, and one of them, you know, Brother H wishes he was here to talk about. You know it, and I know it. Hollywood over there was stewing over that one that we'll get to here in a few. I remember you even saying on there online to somebody else, he's just upset. And I was like, brother.
Right. He'll be okay. He'll get over it.
Oh, man. I might have to save that one, bring him back up here as soon as we can, and just to get his thoughts on that, because that was wild when that trade came through. But we'll talk more about that in a few, because we have some wrestling to get to first as we go to round one.
Let's get ready to rumble! Round one.
Here with round one, Chris Jericho will be revealed as the masked man from Survivor Series War Games. Brother Hugh, how do you feel about this one right here? Are you in or are you out on this one?
Man, I'm out on this one for sure. I mean, word is that he's coming here for a retirement tour. This is not necessary, to be honest. He's not needed in this storyline, to be honest. What you should be doing, if it's not Seth Rollins, you go ahead and you build another star. To be honest, I would like for it to be Mello. But I think the guy was a little bit too tall to be Mello.
Yeah, he was a little bit too tall, a little bit more jacked.
Right. For sure, we know it's not Chris Jericho, because there's no way in hell that Chris Jericho is scaling that fence.
You beat me too.
He did. Like, what?
Like a spider ninja.
Yes. So it has to be Austin Theory, and I hope it is, because he needs a push. he's a phenomenal talent. He just hasn't been able to find his footing. And hopefully this is the beginning of that. So I'm out.
I agree with you on this. I'm out as well. I don't want y'all to get too comfortable out here in these streams. This isn't going to be like this every single round where we're saying the exact same answer. And I promise you that. All right. That's one. All right. Two,
Yes,
I can't promise y'all that every single time that if we do say the right thing, that we're going to say the right answer to each other or the same answer.
that is true.
But unfortunately, we're starting this show off by giving the exact same answer without, and that it's going to be Austin Theory is what I was thinking too, because I didn't want to say that was the statement, because then we're automatically just going to be in with it and not give some type of background to it. You beat me to the one punch and said the way he scaled up that fence. All right. There's no way that Chris Jericho in his early 50s, even though he's in the best shape of his life, if you've seen some of the pictures that he's been like displayed in recently, all that beer weight he put on an AEW, where he had I'm a big guy, so I can say whatever I want. The keg as a stomach, okay? That's what he had at one point. He looked like he was 8 months in, if you know what I'm saying. Like he was straight up 8 months in, about to give birth to the largest food baby in this planet.
Crazy.
That's how big he was. Then he dropped all that poundage. And even in this time and era in November 2025, at what is he, like 52, 53? Like, it's somewhere around that range.
Sure. Yeah.
Even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson at the same age can't do that. Can't scale up the side of a cage like that. But one person who can, somebody who's still in their 20s and was in pretty good shape before he was shelved not too long ago, is Austin Theory. And this situation with the Vision is a much better storyline than him with Grayson Waller and the New Day. All right.
Yeah.
As much as I love the New Day for what they've done over the last decade, and even parts of their heel turn, okay, I've enjoyed some of it. They've taken a step back, in my opinion. And with this, if you're revealed as the masked man, the one who made a pretty big impact for the Vision at Survivor Series, this is going to be a pretty big jump, the type of jump that you were looking to get when Vinnie Mac was in charge. Okay, we'll say that name. We won't say the full name, but we'll say Vinnie Mac on here. I made a graphic before. You know, the one with the ladies. You were here before with that one. I still got that in the arsenal. I got to pull that out too. I still got it in a folder somewhere on this computer. But for here and now, Austin Theory may actually get the push that he needed back when that guy was in charge with this type of direction, because this type of faction is for the future. Like Seth, we just saw him. He was on the what is that comedian, Burt Kreischer, I think.
Yeah.
He was on his podcast just this week and with Becky, and the one where he's cooking and talking with his guests, and Seth had the sling on. Like, you know, even though he had the knee brace on and had the ruse of the century at SummerSlam, there's no way he does that twice in 1 year. And if he does it twice in like what, this would be like 90 days, that's too soon to pull the ruse again. All right.
Exactly.
This was legitimate. He was hurt before the bronze turned on him for the storyline aspect. But even though I agree with you on the fact that it will most likely be Austin Theory, at first, I was thinking it could potentially be Dolph, because Dolph is somebody who's, even though he's older, he's around late 30s to 40 now. Like, I feel like he's still in good enough shape to do what we saw the masked guy do. But there was that one point when he turned around, and I got the picture right here, when he's standing like that, like those type of shoulders, there's not many people that have that type of stature in WWE these days. The way he's hunched over like that to me appears more like appears more like Austin Theory than Dolph Ziggler in this case. It's definitely not Chris Jericho, okay? Captain Keggery with his stomach in AEW. No.
See, but you know WWE like to play with us too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and be like, look, it's Chris Jericho. I'm like, what? Chris Jericho clearly did not do, scale the fence, do Seth Rollins' curb stomp. He clearly did not do that. But WWE likes to play with us, and they will say, look, it's Chris Jericho. Nah, buddy.
Hey, but how many El Grande Americanos do we have?
It's like 52 of them now. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna have like 7 different masked men. What
Right.
is that storyline they tried to go with? It was right around the pandemic where they were all masked, and it was when the thing came on the screen, and they ended up dropping the storyline altogether. But it was very similar to what the Dark Order did in AEW, but they were doing it with WWE. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, Retribution? Retribution?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only way I see them having multiple masked men is if they have another faction that comes in. But that's too much thought that would have to be put into that.
Yeah.
That I don't see that being done before Survivor Series.
Not at all.
Along with what we saw in the John Cena match that we'll get to here in a little bit, this was very well played out for the way the mascot came over the top. What else was he going to do to get in there? It wasn't like the referee was going to open the door and let him in. So between that, when the show started, I thought the women's match stole the show at first because they did a really good job with that War Games match.
For real?
Overall, in my opinion, I feel like they did in comparison to what it was last year. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I have to go back and rewatch it. I always watch it like twice. But from initial thought, I was just kind of like, I'm bored with this.
The way Lash Legend came out, though.
Lash, I'm happy about her. She got her time to shine, but she didn't really do too much, which was also pretty well booked for her because this is her first time in War Games on the main roster. So it makes sense not to have her do too much, right? Find her footing later on down the line in a big match like that. But I get tired. I guess I get tired of the same spots, and like it just altogether, it seemed like that whole War Games was just thrown together. Oh, okay, all right, Nia. Oh, Lash. Okay, let's put Nia and Lash together. We just need 2 more people in here, And then Charlotte and Alexa, they did the whole, oh, I don't want to be a part of this team, this, that, whatever. And I'm like, okay, why are we doing this? Because you came back and you joined the team. Like, I see you trying to tease the whole Rhea and Charlotte thing. We already know that is on site for those 2. So it's like, we didn't really need the extra seasoning. But I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. It was an okay match for what it was. Like I said, I have to go back and rewatch it and reanalyze it, and maybe I'll feel better about it. But initial thought, that's what I felt.
I can't get mad at that. That was a pretty good take with that. What I do feel like is I was leaning more towards them having the better War Games match until we got to the part of the Masked Man, because when we saw the match that we saw between the men in that one, even the Brock, you're talking about spots that we could have picked out from a mile away. Like when Brock stepped onto the steps and they were like, he's a genius. He worked a loophole in the system. The match hasn't started yet. He could go down from the steps and do whatever he wants. Well, if Brock Lesnar was so smart and had this great idea, why didn't he just pass it to his teammates before things started? Okay.
You know what I mean?
And you have your teammates go down during the match before it starts and grab other weapons and grab other chairs and other tables. And I mean, I did like what the Usos did with paying homage to the Dudleys with the 1D again.
Right.
And with their double team work that they did as teammates, out here as 8-time tag team champions together. But I would have to say that match was, in my opinion, kind of stale up until the point that we saw the Masked Man come in there. Because, I mean, they've been reaching with trying to keep things going for the Vision. I don't think even Logan Paul, in my opinion, was slated to be in this Vision concept until after Seth was hurt. You also throw in Drew McIntyre, which, I mean, he's one of the older ones going out, which Seth Rollins was the past and the present, helping the future get to their end game at some point. I don't see Drew McIntyre being a part of that. Whoever this masked person is, though, I feel like this was the plan all along. Like, it would have been Seth, the Bronze, Brock Lesnar, most likely because of his connection with Paul Heyman.
Right.
And whether it's Logan Paul or Drew McIntyre, one of them definitely wasn't there up until the second injury. Maybe Logan because of his youth in the moment, and he still has a long way to go within this company and as a business person altogether.
Mhm.
I can see that linking more together than Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was definitely, in my opinion, just thrusted in this because Seth was hurt. But whoever this masked guy is, and if we are both right with this when we find out on Raw tomorrow or whenever they announce it, which I feel like will be tomorrow, whether we're right or we're wrong, this person was planned months ago before the others who were thrusted in the past couple of weeks.
I believe that. Drew was inserted because of Cody. Because Cody always has to be in something. I'm so tired of Cody. But I'm not going to, hold your show hostage with Cody talk. So you can go ahead and do your thing.
Hey, man, he had adrenaline in his soul.
He did. Also melanin. That's from what I heard. Right.
Also what?
Melanin.
Hey, man, he's not going to sleep.
Right.
Copeland says War Games was awful.
See?
So we got some other people out here agreeing. Like, I don't know, man. To me, I think that Lash Legend coming out there saved the women's War Games match from being an absolute cluster because, like, Nia Jax comes out there. We already know that they're going to be flopping all around once she finger pokes them. Like, they don't want to get hurt. And I got to save that for round 4. Got to save that for round 4 because that has something to do with that. I was going to start giving my whole take on the show, but I can't yet because we got to get to round 4 first because we got to talk some.
Yes, sir.
6 says I'm in my lane and on my way to Build-A-Bear. Mickey Delaney, if you want to come along. Oh, here we go. They're going back and forth in the chat already. If that's the case, Y2J is just here to steal John Cena's thunder. I'm out.
AJ Styles thunder for next year.
Ooh, that could be well played on too. If they try to say that was Chris Jericho, even though you and I both know that he had a Tom Cruise stunt double doing that. If that is the case, that was not him being a spotter ninja
at all.
He says, I'll tell the Big Show to body slam you sick. Wow, this is going back and forth out here. It's getting hostile. Jericho had a beer keg for a torso at the time. Yes, in AEW, he most certainly did. Copeland Studio says LA Knight. Could it be?
That's different. I didn't even think of that.
That is. But in LA Knight does have the broad shoulders like that, but he is also 40 years old. So I don't see him scale, even though he's in great shape because he didn't get beat up. He tells us that all the time.
Right.
He didn't get beat up on the indies. I don't see him scaling like that. But I actually do like that take of LA Knight. But at the same time, that'd be involving him in a whole lot right now. That'd be involving him in this story. He's still in the Last Time Is Now tournament, which the Miz got 2 cracks at, but we'll save that for the final take. Still feel some type of way about the Miz and his. Yeah, you know exactly. he's doing this with taking the paper out the ball. Good old Miz. And what happened if Cody set up CM Punk and the Masked Man was hired by Cody?
Oh, I like where you're going. I like that.
That's really different. I've not seen any of that. Anybody saying that on live. But yeah, man, keep these coming because you're thinking definitely outside the box more, and we need that. I can take the choke slam from the Big Show, but I'll still be standing tall after that. Will y'all keep role playing out here in these streams? Keep them coming because it is definitely entertaining. We're going to take this on into round 2. Talk some Major League Baseball.
Round 2.
For Brother Hugh, you know I had to do it.
Yes, sir.
Baltimore Orioles. And the 1-for-1 trade of pitcher Grayson Rodriguez for outfielder Taylor Ward will benefit the Orioles for years to come. This one, Brother Hugh, how do you feel? Are you
I'm in? Of course I'm in on that. You see it. You see it. You know what? It's actually crazy to say that because they only got this guy. Only had him for 1 year. So it's more like a rental situation. But what the way it's going to benefit them is that they have a change in mindset from last year, from the past years during the free agency or through the winter meetings or whatnot. We always waited to the last minute. We stalled. We always waited. We waited. This year we came out blazing, making trades, acquisitions, and we made a blockbuster trade, if you want to call it that. Nobody expected Grayson Rodriguez to be gone from our roster, especially when we had 4 years of control over him, right? So I would say it does benefit the Orioles, especially for like, I would say maybe the first 2 years at least, because this shows that the Orioles are being aggressive, and it shows that they're serious about taking it to the next level and actually attempting to win now. Forget all of that. Oh yeah, we got a nice farm system that's built for the future. We've been doing that for forever now, right? Let's get some players in here that's going to put some runs on the board, that's going to make some stops, and bring in some money for Baltimore. Bring in some W's for Baltimore. So that's why I say I'm all in on this one right here.
He's got some pop in his bat too. There's a lot of great things to come with this acquisition right here.
Big right-hander, balanced out the lineup, because we were lefty heavy. We were terrible against left-handers. I'm not too keen on his defense. It's kind of average, maybe below average. Not too much speed, not too much of an arm. But the good thing is that he's healthy. For the last 2 years, he's played at least 150 games. And that's a major problem for us in outfield right now with Colton Cowser, O'Neal. Who else we had out there? I can't remember now. But everybody was hurt. So that's great that we got a guy that's somewhat healthy, And like you said, he has that pop in his bat and balance out the lineup. Let's go. Let's take it to the new wall that we moved in last year.
I like where you're coming from with this mindset. But I warned you guys for the last round. We weren't going to agree with everything, and that's why I got to say I'm out. You bring up a lot of great points, and especially with the fact that you needed a little bit more depth in the lineup as far as a bat, right? You needed more help with offense because that was some lingering moments in some big games last year. They really needed somebody else to step up offensively, and where you're getting this trade for Taylor Ward, he can definitely help you out when it comes to that. The only problem is that I see is that the starting rotation for the Baltimore Orioles now needs major addressing because Rodriguez was somebody, in my opinion, that you can build the team around, who's under contract through 2029, meaning you still have 4 years of control of that contract if you would have kept him. Now, yeah, the free agent market this offseason is not as spectacular as it has been in years past. So your ability to go sign somebody with the talents of Taylor Ward, where you had a lot less options there than you would to trade Rodriguez. My opinion is the 1-for-1 part. You didn't really get much in return besides Taylor Ward. And over the years, 1-year rentals have been a thing. And you look back to a little over 30 years ago, David Cone, when he was traded to the Blue Jays in 92, was considered a pivotal moment and popularized the idea of major league trade deadline rentals, because even though they knew they weren't going to extend him beyond that, they didn't have the money to extend him beyond that year, they took a chance. And bringing in Cone helped uplift them for not only 92, but even though they didn't have him for 93, they had some other picks and other moves that they brought in with David Cone that even though he left, he helped spark the momentum to create that back-to-back World Series run for the Blue Jays and won one of them for them. You look at CC Sabathia, who was also traded to the Milwaukee Brewers in a midseason trade. The Brewers didn't go win the championship or anything, but he was a big part of the reason why they even made the playoffs that year in 2008. And there are others that we could sit here and go back and forth. Juan Soto, when he was traded, to the Padres, that didn't work out. That was another trade where he was shipped around and wasn't there that long. So I feel like this is make or break for the Orioles. If you don't have a good year this year, chances of re-signing Taylor Ward are not going to be that great. And Absolutely. What helps the momentum of a baseball game is having really good starting pitching, because you got to be able to play defense. If you're got a pitcher in there that's giving up double after single after double and walks and giving up bombs, and not consistently maintaining a defensive style when you're out there, the Orioles are going to be last in the AL East before you know it. So looking at it for what it is, yes, offense is great, but you can score 4 or 5 runs a game. But if your starting pitching is giving up an average of 6 or 7, along with your relievers getting in there, I don't know if this is going to pan out to be a good trade for the long term, especially Rodriguez had just came up from the minor leagues not too long ago. All right. And you were building within the system. There are other teams that, like the Blue Jays, who were another team that had built within the system. You got Bichette, you got Guerrero Jr., and others who they've brought up through their system. They just made it to the World Series. Teams like the Rays several years ago, the Rangers, other teams that were absolutely terrible but kept getting good picks for several years. They were able to build something special. I think Rodriguez, even though Brother H was really upset, I kind of feel for him because this team right here, he could have been your ace for the next 3 to 5 years. And now he's in LA, a team that has been a dumpster fire for the majority of the last 20 years. Ever since they won that World Series in 2002, they have been a dumpster fire like 20 out of the last 23 years. So
my thing is, I think the Orioles they have to know something about the health of his arm. It has to be for them to go 1-on-1, 1-of-1 for Taylor Ward. No disrespect to Taylor Ward, but Grayson Rodriguez, number 1 prospect. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, number 1 guy coming up through the system, projected to be a multi-time All-Star, and you get Taylor Ward. Like,
and
so
you got
I wonder.
picks.
Exactly. So I wonder, like, what that process was, like, how that process went. Like, who did they actually reach out to? Who was interested in Grayson Rodriguez, and if that was actually the best deal that they got. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to make sense of it all. But the one thing I do like, and I alluded to it a little bit early, is that now, since you don't have that pitcher in Grayson Rodriguez, you're forced to go out and shop. We keep hearing about our owner talking about, look, we got money. All right, well, let's spend it. So now you have to spend money. We have a decent core of guys, but we need at least 2 more people in the starting on the rotation. Then, of course, we need some. Well, we just got another bullpen guy. Okay, we cool. He's okay, but I still think we need some more help in the bullpen because we don't have Batista again this year.
And as long as we don't have an NBA situation where somebody's in the wrong places, like a player that was supposed to be playing in Miami, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say his name. I'm trying to be on that list. I'm not trying to be on the naughty list right before Christmas. Okay.
Right.
But what I am saying is I think you might be up to something, whether it's the health of his arm or it's off the field behavior. Something.
Yes.
There could be other underlying issues. My thing is, if you're trading somebody who has 4 years left on a contract, you got to get more than just one player, especially the one player that has just 1 year, a 1-year rental available. I feel like there should have been some type of compensation with a draft pick. That move, though, falls more on the GM who made the trade himself than anybody else, and questions that I feel like should be asked because, you're getting somebody who's pretty reputable within the MLB for several seasons in Ward. He's made some splashes here and there.
Yes.
But I feel like you deserve at least a first-round pick with Taylor Ward because you're only getting 1 year. Potentially, he could have 1 year. Even if he has a great year, the team might not. And then afterwards, he's like, well, let me go to New York or somebody else that'll pay me and still have enough to pay other people. If he goes to the Dodgers, I'm just going to be flat out pissed because they keep stealing everybody and keep buying championships. They are literally buying championships. Hey, if it helps us out in D.C., because part of their ownership is part of our ownership.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But we got to save that for the final round because I'm going to get too excited over here. We can't be doing that. So let's see what they got to say out here in the chat because Six saying it's all love out here between their role play and wrestling. And Mickey says, okay, then I will have Bubba and his brother put your sorry self through a table sick. Okay. Drew, I will have Big Show body slam you. Then Rikishi will sit on you and put his booty in your face. Wow, I'm getting destroyed out here. I will never call you out for your role play game again. And funny how I have Rikishi on my shirt.
Right.
He's talking about. Oh no, bruh, get some dude wipes. All right, back to this. Baltimore needs a lucky season like the Brewers or Chicago Bears to win that division.
That is true. That division is deep, boy.
And between baseball and football, the Bears are having a lucky season with Fingernail Man. Mm-hmm. And the Brewers had a pretty good season this year as well. So it just goes to show when you get away from the Bud Selig family owning the team, they can actually do some great things out there in Milwaukee.
Exactly.
Making Delaney get the table. Do I still have it? Yeah.
Oh, my brother, testify.
That was for you guys out there with all the 3Ds. As far as this trade goes, the questions will be answered come next spring. Yes. It may take into the summer, though, to get full answers because one or the two of them might be having slow starts. So we shall see in that time. Apparently, they want to have a tag team match, me and you, against Sick and Mick. We'll call them the Icks. All right, the Icks, take it on, the legends, and we're gonna get thrown through tables.
Hey, look, y'all wouldn't survive. I'm just letting y'all know, respectfully. I love y'all, but you wouldn't survive.
Don't make me go in the other room and get my championship belts like Brother Hugh.
Right.
There, all right. Don't make me go get them. We'll take a chance and try to get Hugh Darvish from San Diego, maybe a different league. He pitches better.
I'm with it.
Okay.
Let's go.
I like it. He has the potential to do some special things out there. Hugh Darvish does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Six says he begs to differ. Okay. All right. And Drew Willingham is my dude. I can't do that to him. Thank you. I appreciate that. Do not sick Rikishi on me. I will not be able to eat right for the next few weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's nasty.
It could have been worse. You might get a Rikishi fat wear jeans suit for this Christmas. I remember when he came out with that in the early 2000s.
He's a bad man.
Actually, you might look pretty snazzy in one. I'll probably look like I need to drive a Formula One car wearing that.
Right.
It looked more like a racing suit than anything else when he was wearing it. He's walking out there. But before we go to round 3, I actually got some breaking news for you guys. It's pretty special for this week. Have you missed me during the week? Well, I have missed you people because I will be having a very special episode in 2 days. On Tuesday, I will be live once again with Darrell Owens of the Legacy Maker Sports Network with episode 128 of the In or Out Sports Debate. The first time I'll be live during this time in several months, as usually I'm at my full-time job during this time, but I will actually be on vacation this week. So because of that, I will be here on In or Out Sports Debate with Darrell for episode 128 in 2 nights at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time here on Sartoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Sartoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
With that being said, we still have 3 more rounds to go. Let's go ahead and take it on into round 3. See what I got in store here for Brother Hugh.
Round 3.
Here it is, Brother Hugh.
Come on, man.
Just leaping in midair like that. With that look on his face. Oh, man. As the Baltimore Ravens will not make the playoffs this season. with all shenanigans aside. How do you feel about this one? Are you in or are you out on this?
Oh, I'm out on this one, man.
Okay.
Baltimore Ravens will make the playoffs. Absolutely. They control their own destiny. My only beef is the coaching, because they still haven't fixed the offensive line situation. And everybody's talking about who? Lamar Jackson, who is technically probably the best player in the league. Let's be real. Let's be honest. For the last couple years, he's been the best player in the league all around. Let's be honest. Okay? Now, if that is the guy that you have on your team, that's the captain of your team, you should be surrounding him with people that's going to protect him, right? Right? So he can just go out and do his thing, right?
Yep.
It's crazy. Well, I'm kind of iffy on the coaching because of that situation. Now what I'm seeing the last couple of days, and I'm hoping this is not true, but it looks like Lamar is a little discouraged. If you look at the body, the mannerisms, the body language and whatnot, it's kind of like, all right, look, I'm tired of being out here and getting hit every play. You know, y'all not catching the ball. Like, how many touchdowns did he supposed to have the last 2-3 games? At least 4, right?
I would say so.
And they're dropping it. So it's like, but what I am going to say is that the defense has stepped up. They're not perfect. They have stepped up. They're stopping when need be. Now we just got to get the offensive side back in tow. They have to get back to throwing up 30 a game, right? Because nobody can. Let's be honest, man. The Ravens. Nobody should be able to stop the Ravens at all with our offense. And if the defense is at full health and functioning the correct way, the Ravens should be the best team, hands down, in the NFL. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from Baltimore. I'm looking at the statistics. I'm looking at the names we have. Straight up, we should be the best team in the league. But it's not that way right now. We control our own destiny. Plus, we do have that extra wild card, since
Don't you be gunning for the 7th spot?
No, I'm just saying, a new bracket with the new setup, we got the extra wild card spot now. So it's like,
True.
There's more, more opportunity for us to make that. But I want the top position for sure, and we can still win that. We just got to take care of Pittsburgh.
There's one thing that you said. Lamar Jackson's the best player of the last few seasons.
Yes. And I stand behind it because they robbed them last year too.
I would agree with that if he would have led them to a Super Bowl by now. Not win one, but led him to that. Regardless of the love they get in Kansas City because of Taylor Swift and the Swifties and all that, I have to say that Patrick Mahomes is still, even though they're having a rough year, if we were to have this conversation before the start of this season, I would have to argue that Patrick Mahomes has been better. MVPs or not, he's led his team to several Super Bowls and won 3. Okay, he's 3-2 in the Super Bowl, and all of this has happened in the same time Lamar Jackson's been in the league. Okay, they've been in the league around the same amount of time. All right, and even though Mahomes had somebody else to learn from for an entire year, who was a well-established quarterback, a former number 1 overall pick, who's had success in the NFL, that helped him get to where he is now. But I still think Patrick Mahomes would even have 1 Super Bowl right now, even if he didn't have Alex Smith to learn from for a year. The rest of the talent, the way the defense was built, Smith on the other side of the ball, you got a tight end who's a Hall of Famer eventually in Travis Kelce, and on top of that, even if we take the Chiefs out of it, before he retired, Aaron Donald, the defensive tackle for the Rams, absolutely was making people look silly on offense when he was playing defense and helped carry Matthew Stafford and others to the Super Bowl that year. They would not have won the Super Bowl without Aaron Donald. Even though the Browns suck, Myles Garrett
is a beast, bro.
Myles Garrett is a beast and could be argued up there as one of those top contenders for the best in the NFL. TJ Watt, Amon-Ra St. Brown, other names too, but they're just notable in my opinion. I would say it's neck and neck right now with Mahomes and Lamar, and I would say that Lamar might have an edge on them if they make it to the playoffs this year, if they make it to the Super Bowl this year.
I'm with you on that because that stat does matter because we do it all the time with the Kobe LeBron or the MJ LeBron Kobe discussion, this, that, whatever. That stat does matter. The Super Bowls, the championships, That's what matters, you know.
In regular season, I kind of went off on that for a second. I did say that I was out and clicked the button, right?
I don't think you did. I don't
You know
know.
what? I'm just going to say it now. I'm out. You know, if you can't even remember clicking the button, you probably didn't click it. All right.
Do it again.
So
Right.
the reason why I say that they're not going to make the playoffs is because, I mean, looking at their record right now, they did not look good at all on Thursday. Okay. You're playing against a guy who's still dealing with turf toe. Okay. He's got a special plate in his shoe just so he can withstand being out there on the football field. And he made you look foolish winning 32-14. Okay. That's one. In a team that the Baltimore Ravens have had a defense, it's been equal, if not better than their offense for as long as the Baltimore Ravens have been a team, in my opinion. Like, they've notably been better as a team that does really well with defense. And this year they've struggled. They've struggled on defense
Tremendously.
pretty bad. And their offensive line, like you said, has had issues. The reason why I say they won't make the playoffs, they got 5 games left. They are hosting the Steelers next week, and they got the Steelers twice in these 5 games, which, even though the Steelers did not look good today against the Bills and gave up the most amount of rushing yards, which is 249 at home, which has never been done for a road team coming into Pittsburgh like that. That was history today. The Buffalo Bills did, but I don't think any other team but the Bills could do that with the way that they're built. So that made a lot of sense. You got the Steelers twice. Your first out of 5 games is against them, and their last out of 5 games is against them. You got them next week, and you got them January 4th. You got the Bengals again, and you just struggled with them this past Thursday. You got them in 2 weeks on December 14th. You have the Patriots, who are the best team in the AFC right now, which I would not have said that to start the year off.
I definitely wouldn't have said that.
They've been a surprise this year, but look at their leadership. You know, Vrabel, what he did in Tennessee, what he did as a player, the things that he has accomplished. I'm not surprised now, looking back at the body of work, what he's done. I thought that this would have happened, but it might have taken him a year or two before he would come close to this. They've surprised me. And you have them in 3 weeks. You also have the Packers in Green Bay. So out of all these games, out of the last 5 games, only 2 are at home. This week against the Steelers, and December 21st when you host the Patriots. In one of those 2 games that you're hosting, you're going to lose. And I think it's going to be the Patriots. I think you can beat the Steelers this week. But let's look at your overall record. You're still tied for first with the Steelers, but this is a first-place game that you'll be having this week against them. And they're going to be mad because they got beat up this week, the Steelers did. Both teams are going to go out there angry because they both took an L.
Right.
And I think you can win this game, but it doesn't mean that it's over yet. Even though you'll slightly keep the edge in the AFC North, I don't think it's going to be that way for long. And the reason why I say that I am out on this, you got the Steelers, you got the Bengals, you got the Packers, you got the Patriots, and then the Steelers again. You really think that with these last games, which I feel like you got to win 4 out of 5 to win the division, you got to win both against the Steelers to do that. And there's still a chance that you could drop all 5, in my opinion.
There is a chance.
Because of who you're playing and what they've established already. So you're 6-6 right now. If you lose 5, you'll be 6-11. No way you're getting that 7th seed.
Right.
You have to win at least 3 out of the next 5 to get that 7th seed. And that's with a 9-8 record. It's doable, but 2 of those losses are definitely going to happen against the Patriots. Is going to be one if this happens. And I think you lose 1 of the 2 against the Steelers. I think you beat the Bengals again because you're going to be mad about what happened on Thanksgiving and not want to get embarrassed again. And this happened at home on Thanksgiving. You're going to want to do the same thing to them in Cincinnati. And other teams can beat Cincinnati at home. The Commanders did it last year in that Monday Night Football game, which was what really gave the momentum for JD to do what he did all last year.
Right.
So big things happen in Cincinnati, just not for Cincinnati.
At all. At all. Right.
So even though Cincinnati's season's still alive with the win they had this week, they're going to flame out in 2 weeks, and I think that's going to happen when they lose to the Ravens in Cincinnati, in my opinion. I think you win against the Steelers at home. I think you win against the Bengals at home, away, but you're going to lose to the Patriots. You're going to lose to the Packers. And I think you might possibly lose again to the Steelers for the last game. That's an 8-9 record that misses the playoff. That's why I say I disagree. I also got to throw some shade at Brother Hugh because he'd be switching his hats up. Okay? He'd be switching the hats up. I've seen it on the Wrestling Room. I've been a guest on the show when you have taken the hat off and put the other one on. And for that, I had some left in the tank that I was ready to bring to the show, and it happened tonight.
Oh, boy, here we go. Here we go.
Let's see what we got out here in the comments. 6 says, I always wanted one of those jean suits. Unfortunately, they weren't available for those of us on the lanky side.
That is absolutely true.
Yes, you must be big boned like myself in order to have one. What in the Ray Lewis? Yes, I will bring it back up one more time.
Yes, sir.
When I saw that out there, when I was looking at Ravens graphics, I was like, I got to put that in there.
You have
That's
to.
going to make it even better. The Ravens should be hyped because the Chiefs will not be in the playoffs to beat them annually.
Hey, man, look.
There's a good chance both teams might not be there.
That is, yeah.
This was the time this week where you really needed that win against the Bengals, in my opinion, because you really need to win all 5 games. You can get by with winning 4. If you win 3 and finish 9-8, I don't think that's enough, man. I really don't. And not with the way this division, not the way the AFC is. If we look right now with teams that are in the lead, AFC East, Patriots 10-2, but the Bills are 8-4. If the season ended today, they got the wild card spot. The Bills do. One of the two.
Right.
You got the Ravens and Steelers both 6-6. They're both still alive for the AFC North. For the AFC South, the Jags are 8-4. The Colts are 8-4.
The Jags are 8-4. Yes.
And the Texans are 7-5. They have a wild card spot over you right now. Okay. The Broncos in the West are 9-2. The Chargers are 8-4. The Chiefs are 6-6. They're definitely eliminated at this point. So my point being, if the season ended today, you got the Patriots, the Jags, the Broncos as definite locks for the division. Okay. The Jags and Colts are kind of close, but I think the Jags lock it up right now over the Colts if the season ended today. The Ravens and Steelers haven't played each other, but the Steelers have given up the least amount of points. And when it comes to their home record, they have the tiebreaker over the Ravens right now. So right now, if season ended, Steelers win the North, okay? That gives you those 3 spots. You have the Bills who have an 8-4 record. They got the 5. The Colts have an 8-4 record. They got either the 5 or the 6. And the Chargers are also 8-4 right now. Those 3 teams get the 5s, the 6, and the 7. The Ravens are FUCKED.
We'll see you in the playoffs. I'm just letting you know. We'll see you in the playoffs. I hear all your stats, and you dropping some gems right there, and I love to hear that from you. And yeah, but we'll see you in the playoffs. And you have my number, so if you want to talk, if you want to continue to talk smack, we can talk the smack off air. So
you a 10-second clip to your phone that says.
Oh my gosh, bro.
You know it, and I know it. But hey, even though we got a little out here in these streams, when it comes to this,
you guys want to hear a fucking story?
In my opinion, no teams from Maryland, Landover, whatever you want to call them, whether they're from Baltimore, Landover, neither one of them are getting to the playoffs this year. So it's okay for me. But for you and your cornucopious amount of hats, you Still have a chance. Me, done for the year.
Yeah.
I can't say what I was about to say because I got to say that for round 5.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just get a good pick next year and move forward when it comes to Washington.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, the shenanigery has ended for this half of the show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a quick commercial break. But when we come back, we got to talk John Cena. We got to talk Washington Commanders and much more here on episode 127. We'll see you all here after this 2-minute commercial break.
Hey, what's good, everybody? This your boy Corey, host of The Grind, where we talk about all things WWE. You can catch The Grind every single Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on Sertoba Media. If you're not following Sertoba Media, then what are you doing? Like, share, subscribe. There are many different things that we have available on Sertoba Media for your viewing pleasure. And what else you got to do on a Saturday afternoon? Come spend some time with me. Come spend some time with my colleagues on this platform. Help us be able to bring everything that you all want to see. Matter of fact, you know what? If you ain't did it yet, I got something for you. Stay true to what you do. Stay true to why you do. And always stay true to you.
Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look. Hey, stop playing games. Y'all already know. Go ahead and toss him some Willie Bucks. Ain't nobody playing around. Hey, $sign DWillie87. Go ahead and hit him up on the Cash App and go ahead and give him some Willie Bucks. Look at Drew looking stoic, ladies and gentlemen. Stoic on that $10 bill. So go ahead, slide my man over some Willie Bucks, and we good. That's all I'm saying. We good. Slide some Willie Bucks.
Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Do you like talking sports? Do you like entertainment? Do you like the occasional series of heated discussions?
Are you in and out, Drew?
With that said,
Drew, Drew, I'm hearing a bunch of stuff in your mind. I know you know this team very well. Are you in and out, my friend?
Then you must see this. Drew Willingham versus random panelists. Who wins? You decide on the In or Out Sports Debate. Live. Whenever the we feel like it. Eastern Standard Time. Exclusively on Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.
Welcome back to the In or Out Sports Debate, episode 127. We are live. Myself, Drew Willingham, and brother Hugh Scott are back from that commercial break. Whenever the expletive we feel like it, back after that commercial break. What'd you think of that commercial there, brother Hugh? You saw yourself in there.
I saw it. Yeah. I was highly appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I loved it. I loved it. And yes, I always win. So just to answer that question towards the end, I win. So, you know.
That one clip of the four of us from that episode, that was the infamous episode where the computer died.
Yeah, it definitely was.
And y'all are just floating around out here in these streams. It's like when the captain of the ship collapses and nobody knows how to steer, even though you know how to steer.
Right.
You just didn't have the controls. So we were just floating amongst the sea until I snapped back in with an iPad going wirelessly to finish the last hour of the show.
Right.
It was brutal, but we made it work.
We definitely did.
So you guys have to go back and watch that one. That was years ago.
Yeah,
it's been 5.5 years since I started this show.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Time is flying.
It really is. So I was like, we gotta get this thing back up and running again. We gotta get to episode 200. Gotta show them what's up out here in these streams. With all that being said, let's go ahead and take us back to the retro times with this round 4.
Round 4.
And here with round 4, John Cena got what he deserved at Survivor Series War Games. Brother Hugh, what do you think? Are you in or out on this one?
What he deserved. That's so negative. I'm in on it.
So negative.
It is. It's negative connotation to it. But I would say yes, he got what he deserved because everybody got what they deserve. Let's be honest. John Cena got a chance to have a dance partner, a young up-and-coming superstar. Under 30, mind you. The top star under 30.
Still a
according to
20-year
the list.
veteran.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Right? One of his good friends' son. He got a chance to put him over again. Right? Also got a chance to put over a Liv Morgan the rest of the Judgment Day. He got a great opportunity to work with all these guys and gals, help them out, build them up. And it was a good showing. It was a little overbooked. A smidge overbooked. But we got the message. We got it. We already knew he was going to lose anyway. You know? I was hoping that Liv didn't come out until Royal Rumble, but it's in Saudi, so I'm glad she came out now, to be honest. But John Cena got exactly what he deserved. He got his curtain call at his last PLE. He was against a formidable opponent in the Dominic Mysterio. I don't know what's going on in the background. Okay. All right. But yeah, he got what he deserved. He went out on his own terms. He got his own little standing ovation and whatnot. You know, he got to talk to the cameraman and all that extra stuff he does. Little T-shirts and whatnot. Now he's got to get ready in 2 weeks for his last match against Jey Uso. We're going to make everybody mad with that one.
Very well said. It looks like you got your own Stu, the cameraman, over there with all these different angles you got going on. Like, Stu is making you look like a superstar, which is definitely the way Brother Hugh deserves to look here on this show. So I am digging it. Especially his answer right here. I got to agree. I'm in as well. Yeah, I remember to click the button this time. All right. I remembered. All right. But for this right here, John Cena got what he deserved, even the way up to the match. Because the week before, when John Cena came out, the little man with the little wash rag, the little washcloth,
right?
Last time is now. It came out. I laughed so hard. And then the best part was there was a mini Stu as well. Right? There's a mini camera guy with such a little tiny camera, like a little JVC, like before 4K. That's how small that camera was. Stu followed him to the ring.
And he stood on the box.
He stood on the box. John Cena, yes, came out there. And then, you and I were talking about this in the green room before the show. Liv Morgan did the John Cena better than John Cena did back at the Elimination Chamber, okay? Because the eyes got real big, like John Cena's did, or at least like he tried. And then she had that look that looked better than when John Cena did, with the look behind the back. Then jumps down, has a little smile like everything's okay, and like saying something, and then she kicks him. Perfectly done. And the only way that Dominic Mysterio can win, if he's going to really pay homage to Eddie Guerrero with the lie, cheating, stealing, he did it perfectly, okay? Especially when we're looking back at, it's been almost 20 years now that Eddie Guerrero has been gone. I think it's November. It's November.
It was in November, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been 20 years since Eddie's been gone. So the way that they did this, it not only pays homage to the Mysterio family with what John did on the way out, but it does to Eddie, who Eddie was another hand that helped bring Cena up along the rise right before he won the championship in 2005 at WrestleMania. So without Eddie, without Rey Mysterio, and now Dom, John Cena wouldn't have the career trajectory of what we've seen over the last 23 years without all of them combined. Dominic Mysterio, he's young, under 30, like you said, but like I threw out there, he says it. It's true. He is technically a 20-year veteran because he's been around since 2005, even though he looked weak trying to shake that ladder when Eddie was on it in the custody for Dom match at SummerSlam, okay? So, yes, you might be a 20-year veteran, but you couldn't even wiggle the ladder, Dominic, so you need to tone that down a little bit. Other than that, everything played out right. John got to get over not only Dom, it was a way to bring Liv back, but also the rest of the Judgment Day, which I'm going to be interested to see how that goes because the little flirty things that have happened between Roxanne and Dom in certain aspects, and she tried to give him a plate full of chicken nuggets, if you remember that one show, okay? So, and that's what I came at when she first came out there and slapped him. I was like, oh, this is what it's for. This is what it's for. You couldn't put the tendies down, okay? You couldn't have just gotten in your car and gone to Wendy's and got the new tendies they keep talking about. Instead, you had to take her nuggets. You were taking from another lady. And where's your wife in all this, man? You are too busy, Dominic Mysterio, okay? And I'm going to leave that for what it is because it is a storyline. We don't want to get too far into it. I'm just having fun. But for this right here, I can't disagree with you because there's different elements that we can really dissect throughout the last time is now run that John Cena's had since he came back at the start of this year. There's been some good things. There's been some things that have been entertaining. There's been some things that we wish we would have seen different a little bit. Overall, even though I was critical of the John Cena storyline a few months ago, up at the point when he was about to drop the belt to Cody, because just like we knew that Dom was going to win this match here, we really knew that Cody was going to win that match at SummerSlam too. There's no way John was going to leave with the World Wrestling, Entertainment Championship, whatever you want to call it nowadays, the Undisputed Championship. Whatever.
Although that would have been cool. That would have been cool as hell.
What?
If he left with that title.
Oh, it's SummerSlam?
Well, no, I'm just saying in general, his last match, he still has that title and he walks off with it.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool little twist, but
then we got to have another tournament like we're having for the last time is now just to see who the last two who will be fighting for it. And they would have dragged that on for a month. So that kind of would have been cool. I was hoping that they would kind of do that with the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Or at least make it to where it's an additional layer of something that whoever faces him and makes it through the tournament, you get the prize of retiring John Cena. You also get the prize of being a champion as a result of retiring John Cena. But, looking at the match of what we saw yesterday with the two of them, whether Dom would have won or lost, it would not have hurt him. He is white hot. At all. He is as white hot as CM Punk was 10, 12 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. White hot as LA Knight was 2 years ago. But they cannot mess that up with him because he's literally the future of the WWE. Him, Braun Breaker are like the two, if I were to say, are the future of the men's division in WWE. They are it. Okay.
Yeah.
And Dom has got the most heat for himself right now because we are seeing a lot of Eddie Guerrero in him now. He has elevated himself so much. If we would have had this conversation in 2022 about him being up here, we would not have seen it. He needed to be with Rhea. He needed to be with the Judgment Day. This whole shift with Liv and everything else that came with it. The King of the Luchadors, even though it's crap, but still it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Needed all this to raise his stock to this point to where when he said 3 years ago that he was this generation's Eddie Guerrero, we were all like, you're full of crap. But he's starting to live up to it now in 2025. I'm happy to see it. And it's been cool to see what he's done in the last 20 years for John Cena to help elevate him even more, even though it wouldn't have hurt him to lose to John. It goes to show that all those people hating on John for all those years about him not putting people over, they were just wrong and mad because they weren't part of the crew who was getting put over.
Shout out to character work, just in general, because there's a lot of great character work happening right now in the WWE. For instance, Liv Morgan. You see the interview afterwards. She's just annoying as hell.
Yeah.
No, like, to be honest, like, she's literally just annoying as hell, loud, smacking her gum, but everything she does makes you hate her that much more, which is perfect for her role. Same thing with Dom. The cockiness, the swag. It's great character work. On Becky Lynch is another one. She is out here making careers like crazy. You know? The
She
little
got what she deserved too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The little tidbit where she talking about, oh, I'm gonna get a lawyer, this, that, whatever, because I lost my title and it wasn't a sanctioned match or whatever she was talking about. Like, that's all extra work that you're putting in to the storyline to make it that much more believable. And like, you know, Roman Reigns is he just does it with Hey,
How many of those were we going to see last night? I felt like we saw 7 of them to start before they even got in the cage.
Right.
I'm like, bro, we've seen 4. Get him in. Get him inside now.
He had extra power because he had the sleeve on with
Yeah.
it. So it gave him a little extra juice on it. So
No,
I
what
was
really
like,
gave extras, we put the brass knucks on.
oh yeah, that's right. He did do that. See? Yeah.
Oh, man.
But like his character work, like, he don't even have to say anything. He's so good, he just do it with his facial expressions. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of great character work going on right now in the WWE, and I'm really appreciating it. And I just can't wait to see what's next with all these storylines, to be honest.
I'm with you. It's always sad to see something come to an end, but I feel like he truly is leaving it in good hands. Like,
Yeah.
John really is, like, the way he wanted to go out. It's we hardly ever get to see anybody go out the way they want to. Like, Ric Flair was one that we saw one of the greatest retirement matches, but then he kept wrestling after that.
Right.
Because he didn't have much to fall back on. He didn't venture out into the things like, granted, they didn't really have the opportunities back 20, 30, 40 years ago to do what they're doing today in movies and take the time off that they do. One, because the companies like WCW and WWF at the time did not have the depth that they have now.
Exactly.
Okay. The territories were different. You had to be on every single night to get your pay, because even if you did go do a movie like Roddy Piper would do a few in the 80s and Terry Funk, you're not guaranteed to get paid like a movie star. So wrestling is still number one. And today, for John Cena to follow in the footsteps of The Rock and others, very big. So it's really cool to see him go out that way. John Cena thing, so predictable. The whole Saturday night main event is about promoting younger talent, so no shocker. Very, very well said, my man. Corey Mann, looking forward to having the grind back on Sartoba when he gets everything straight from the holidays. Dominic's stock continues to rise with this win, though. It really does. 6 says, I'm in. Got what he deserved. However, Dirty Dom will get what he deserves down the line. There's a love triangle storyline brewing between Dom, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. So he was with us when we were talking about that 10 minutes ago. He was exactly right there.
I feel like they cooled that off a little bit.
They did.
Been too flirty with him, you know what I mean? Flirtatious with him.
They did cool it down, but there's still enough from before when they cooled it down that Liv's had these psycho-esque character developments throughout the past that she could be like, well, remember when you did this from like, that was 8 months ago, but you still did it. Like, it could be.
He can't be out here raw dogging another woman's nuggets. That's crazy, bro.
Oh, man. Dom is one of, if not the biggest heel in WWE today.
I can throw Logan Paul up there too. He's awesome too.
Yep, I would agree with you on that too. But yes, Dom is definitely biggest heel right now. But I mean, but I'm with you on Logan though, because they boo him even harder now than they boo Dom. There's a lot more cheers for Dom because there's fans like us that like heels and feel some type of way about heels even more than baby faces. We'll throw shade more on a baby face than we will on a heel. That's just how you and I are wired as wrestling fans, but there are others that are not so much. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing. Logan Paul, everybody just hates him because of his prime drinks. And whatever that fake dollar store Lunchables that they still charge 4 times the amount of price for it. I tried one time at lunch. It wasn't that good. Okay? No wonder why they're disappearing from the shelves. Yeah.
Which one did you get?
The pizza one.
The pizza.
Yeah, big guy. We like our pizza, all right? So
the pizza one.
I took a bite out of it. I was like, this pizza one sucks. So I put it back in the mic. I put it in the microwave. And you would think, even though you can eat a Lunchable cold,
right?
No, you can't eat this prime one cold.
Nah, you can't.
So I put it in the microwave for like a 15 second. Took it out. It was worse. I was like, man, it's terrible. This is Charles Barkley terrible. It absolutely was at the point that, yes, I still have the button.
That's terrible.
That's what I said. And then just ate some crackers for the rest of the day. Crackers and some juice. And I felt better because I had something. But hey, it sucked. All right, now back to the comment. Guys, since Liv is back, what are they going to do with Roxanne Perez? If she leaves Judgment Day, I think she will be underbooked and eventually have limited airtime like Lyra Valkyria.
That could happen. She's teasing the IC championship now, going after that. But
Maxine,
right. She might actually win that. But she actually has good chemistry with Raquel also.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you do keep them in the Judgment Day. I don't even know what they're doing with the Judgment Day at this point in time because they're always fighting against each other, always bickering, and then next thing you know, they're right back together chilling. So I'm like, all right, what are we doing?
I thought that there would have been a way for John to still win this match, possibly, if it's the Judgment Day come out there and turn on Dom. Because they've had their, him and Finn have had their squabbles, right? They've had their squabbles, and it's looked like that could be that type of way at some point, but it didn't.
That thought actually crossed my mind when I saw them run down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But no, we got what should have happened. What was supposed to happen did happen, and it was good for storytelling. So that is a good question there, Copeland. It's possible she could fall into the background like Lyra, but I don't know, man.
I think so.
I think that Liv coming back could be literally the beginning of the end of the Judgment Day, and maybe her and Dom all together. We'll see, because we've seen over the last few months, Dom doesn't necessarily need the Judgment Day, unless in a match like John Cena he did, but it played more towards the ending than he really needed the help for. So Dom always needs to have his chicken tendies, always with the ranch dressing. Oh, man. He says he wonders where Raquel would fit in that storyline.
Exactly.
So it throws.
So they
there's
can go
a
places
third
with
wheel
it.
in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Dom is the ultimate chicken heel. He's a heat seeker and a nuisance. Kind of what Eddie Guerrero did in his last runs.
Amen.
The lie, the cheating, and the stealing. I love the New Day's character work with how they're complaining and whining about not getting a rematch for the tag team titles on Raw.
Awesome,
you know
guys.
I think this week, though, they do have a rematch.
They do have a rematch. They just got it.
Yes.
Because they went to him to complain, and they was like, hold up. Did you hear what he just said? We got a title match. Right.
Watch Grayson Waller come out there with them. And then guess what? The Masked Man shows up. And then the Masked Man will take them out. And then after that, they'll have their segment with the vision of who the Masked Man is.
Right. Right.
And he also says, I had to cool down due to Liv's arm injury. Oh, it had to cool down due to Liv's arm injury.
That makes sense.
Talking about the chemistry or the
flirtations and
between Dom and Rox. Yeah. Dom's the best heel in the WWE right now.
You actually could have kept it going. It didn't have to be as frequent, but you could have kept it going.
He said Drew McIntyre would give him competition as well.
Oh, yeah.
Drew did have a great year. It's a shame that Cena, I feel like if Cena would have been able to go back to being face Cena with the championship, that would have been a good feud to have. Because Drew needs it for his stock just as much as Dom does to have a series of matches with somebody like John Cena to help put him over. You did what you did with Dom Mysterio in less than a month. Literally 3 to 4 weeks is all you needed in some storyline telling. And you could have done that. I feel he was still a heel in like June and July. it wasn't until right before that match with Cody at SummerSlam, it's let's have a beer and turn you face. It's literally Cody out there. Let's have a beer and turn you face.
You gotta love guys like Drew McIntyre and KO at one point. Like, I see them, I like to call them the unsung heroes or the low-key MVPs. Because, like you said, character work is awesome. Heel, face, they can do it either way. They're versatile. But when they become a heel, it's something complete. Oh my gosh, I'm getting excited. It's something completely different, you know? And they can elevate anybody that they're in the ring with, no matter who it is. So, like, yeah, man, Drew is definitely up there.
Logan is a big heel, but there are different types of heels.
Absolutely.
Yes. He is just a heel in and out of the ring.
Yes.
Logan is just a dumbass. People don't like him in real life. That's carried over.
That is true. But is he really a dumbass? Because he's making a whole lot of money.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, no, to the no, no.
We were long overdue for some Bishop. All right. Long overdue for some Bishop.
Right. I was waiting for it. I'm not going to lie.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
When it comes to that, Sick also says, don't forget about the Paul brothers and their internet boxing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's who it is. It's Jake Paul. That's the match man.
Because of Jake Paul and literally holding up Mike Tyson.
How mad would everybody be if the masked man is actually Jake Paul?
I thought about that last night. I was like, that the way his shoulders are, that could be Jake Paul, but I don't see with him and the scheduled fights that he has how he can make that work.
Right, absolutely.
Because even when they did it with Cain Velasquez, and who's the other one? Oh crap! The other boxer that they had, the one that like got tried for murder or something like that, or it was self-defense. He didn't go. I don't think he got jailed. I can't remember the other boxer, but crap, I can't. I know there was Cain Velasquez because I think he was the one that fought Brock Lesnar.
Right, he was the one that
because he was UFC. I think.
Right.
But then there was the boxer, the one that like after his little WWE storyline.
That was Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez was the one that's getting tried for murder or something. Yeah.
I thought there was another boxer that
I could be tripping.
Like I could be too, but it would. If you guys know out there in the chat, let us know who was the one that was like charged or tried for murder or still going on through it. And then there was another one. It was around the same time. I can't remember but it was at Crown Jewel. I know that. But he said I was over there eating stale rice cakes with sauce on it of adult Lunchables.
My fault. I'm sorry.
What's that?
I was about to say, was that Fury? Tyson Fury?
Tyson Fury, yes.
With Braun Strowman?
Yeah, Tyson Fury, Braun Strowman, Cain Velasquez, Brock Lesnar. It was around the same year where those fights were. I just couldn't remember who was the one that was actually the one that was charged. I couldn't remember. But when we look at the real life heat and the Paul brothers and the internet boxing, my point with that was it wouldn't be the first time they brought a celebrity or an athlete from another, realm, as I'll say, into the wrestling space. So if it is Jake Paul, then I wouldn't be surprised.
I just looked it up. It is Cain Velasquez who got attempted murder charge.
I don't think he got convicted though.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
he got let off. But I've seen dumbasses become CEOs.
Amen.
That begs the question: will Dirty Dom still be defending the AAA Mega Championship? Oh yeah.
He just gotta find people for him to fight. He's tired of Vikingo.
Because they just had a AAA event, but Dom wasn't on it because we were so close to Survivor Series.
Right.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting how they play that out. But a Mysterio being a champion in AAA is just as big for that brand as him being an Intercontinental champion to keep climbing the reins to eventually become a world champion someday.
I think his father beats him for the AAA, the Mega Championship. That's the title that Rey Mysterio never carried.
That's a good point.
They still had that ongoing feud. So I mean,
and he doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship because he's won that several times.
He doesn't, right?
He's already a Grand Slam champion in WWE. So,
and who better to beat him? Like literally, there's nobody else on the AAA roster that's a big enough star to be in the ring with Dominic Mysterio right now. Your next best bet is Grande Americano. Let's be honest.
And that's not happening because they're friends. So,
exactly.
And even though people can turn, I just don't see one of the 7 El Grande Americanos turning on Dominic Mysterio right now. That would be wild to see that. Hey, just speaking about wild, the Commanders have a lead in Sunday Night Football right now.
Hey.
Woohoo! All right, back to action because I don't want to get too excited because Marcus Mariota right now is 9 of 13 for 72 yards and an interception. So it's a miracle that they have the lead right now. But it's because Bo Nix is 7 of 14 for 82 yards and no touchdowns.
Well, let's get this W.
Let's get it. Just surround themselves with the right people. Okay. So basically climbing the ladder politically, these people are to be CEOs. AAA Mega Championship. Yes. When you were talking about this, if he'll be defending it, we both say he still will. But I like Brother Hughes taking the fact that a Mysterio loses the belt to another Mysterio, the one who fathered him. So, Masked Man was too smooth to be Jake.
He hit that move very smoothly. Like, yeah. That's why I said Carmelo. Because Carmelo, a lot of people don't know, but Carmelo trains with the top guys on WWE roster. Like when Cody was out, he was training Cody. He was Cody's dance partner throughout that whole time he was rehabbing and trying to come back. So Carmelo does a lot of work, but at the same token, like I said, he was a little bit too tall.
Yeah, and just the mannerisms with this, like in the way he's standing, that looks more like an Austin Theory. Yeah, that's an exact masked shot from last night. So that I'm with you. That's Austin Theory. I don't think that being Jake Paul, unless the optical illusion was really real, and that masked man was able to roll out somehow, and stunt double number 2 was able to spider ninja up the cage because there's no way that was Jake Paul climbing that cage.
Hey man, we already know it's Chris Jericho. So
Cain Velasquez was convicted for attempted murder. He tried to get the person who allegedly violated his son at a daycare, but hit another person instead. That reminds me, yes, his son got EDP'd, but in real life. That's the best way I can say it for the airwaves, because Sick put it in a great way, and that's the best way I can really describe it. But, you know, there are sick people out here in this world, but our best bet when it comes to that is just hoping and praying that justice will come. You just got to present the evidence over to the authorities and let them handle it.
Yes, sir.
Because if we take matters into our own hands, we take a situation and make it 10 times worse, because now the person who acted on that is going to be tried for something completely different. Doesn't excuse what the other person did. It just means we got to trust our authority system, our justice system out here in these streets. Six says, I don't know about Austin Theory. Isn't he known for being a malcontent in the wrestling business?
You gonna do hit the old Google?
Yeah, I did. A person who is dissatisfied and rebellious. Thank you for mind expletiving my mind there, Sick, because I had to in real time. The silence was real. We had to, because we had to Google it and see, did you mean a person who is dissatisfied and rebellious? But isn't the group, the vision, dissatisfied and rebellious?
Exactly.
So for that, Sick, since you really mind expletive me up right there, I got to give you this. You deserve the applause. Because you just mind expletive us. One more. Okay, there you go. With that being said, we've had fun through 4 rounds. We got one more left to go to. We're going to talk a little bit more national football with this one. Let's give them the retro graphic one more time.
final round.
Here with the final round, even though we have the old banner there, let's put the new one up. Regardless if he's healthy enough to return soon, the Washington Commanders should sit quarterback Jayden Daniels for the rest of the season. Further, Hugh, how do you feel about this one? I know you don't have the right hat on this time.
You want me to get it?
It'll probably be the only time for the rest of this year you'll wear it.
Right, exactly.
With this one, how do you feel? Do you agree with this one? Are you in or are you out on this one?
I'm in on that. There's no reason for him to come back at all. Why should he? They're not in playoff contention. They're in. They might get the first pick, maybe. They're getting a top pick.
The Titans are 1-11.
You're right. So they're going to get a top pick. Let's put it that way. Just focus on next season. Put a team out there. Work on what you can work on as of right now. But Jayden Daniels is your franchise quarterback. Let him get healthy. There's no need for him to come back 100%. That offensive line y'all have? No. Do not bring him back. Keep him on the sideline. He can do his little thing with the clipboard and the plays and all that, call plays and whatnot. But no, keep him on the sideline until next year, where you can rebuild, you can reset, and come back stronger. So I'm all in.
I like your thought on that.
Sit him down.
I like it because even if they lose the remainder of the season, which right now they're looking pretty good because they've got a lead in this game, which is surprising, even though it's a 1-point lead and there's still 2 minutes left in the first half with the Broncos having the ball. It's still a stretch, but they could upset the 9-2 Broncos tonight. If they do, right? If the Commanders upset them, they'll be 4-8, and they are not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Right.
And for that, and for the sake of debate, I am out. You notice I threw those 5 words in there. You know exactly where I'm going with this. I may not be leaning towards this way, but we can't agree with everything. But the reason why I say this is if you win this game, you're 4-8. You're in a very similar situation than Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals were before this Thanksgiving game. This is the same week, same impact. The Bengals won, and now they're 4-8, right? So if the Commanders win, they're 4-8, and Jayden has been reportedly able to return next week if the team is in a good enough spot. If they lose tonight and they're 3-9, you're guaranteed to have a losing record with 9 losses, right?
Yeah.
So there's no point. If you win tonight, it shows promise because you were able to do that with backups, right? And you're working with primarily backups in your receiving core because Terry's been banged up because he wasn't showing up to training camp and didn't get the reps he needed. So he was physically, even though he might have been in some great shape, he wasn't in football shape. So by the time he got out there, he got banged up. Debo has been banged up on and off this year. Has had some flashes in the pan of what he could show, but the team around him is not consistent. Ben Sinnott has helped out a little bit with the tight end work, but Zach Ertz has still been putting up some decent numbers at the age that he is. He's actually the leading receiver right now in this game with 5 receptions, 45 yards.
I can believe
so the older talent has had to step up because those younger guys or those mid-level guys, and I mean mid-level by their age, not by their talent, are not being able to produce because they're not in there. So you got veterans and some guys you never even heard of stepping up and making things happen. Chris Rodriguez even has a touchdown tonight. That's why they have the lead. So he's filling in when Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt should be out there getting those big yards and putting up the touchdowns, but he's not. This team is still finding a way to get things done. So for the sake of debate, if they continue along this trend and get to 4-8 tonight, the Commanders have no choice, kind of like the Bengals had no choice, but to put Jayden back out there. The positive part about this is the injury that he had, it looked gruesome. It looked pretty bad.
It looked real
but
nasty.
It's his non-throwing arm. So
exactly.
If this was his throwing arm, we would not even be having this discussion right now. None whatsoever, because there's no way that your throwing arm can heal that fast to where you can go out there and sling it 60 yards if you need to. Okay.
Right.
You'd be like Brock Purdy in that NFC championship 2 years ago when he couldn't even throw the ball 5 yards, but they
Right.
put him out there because they had no better option. That would be what it would be like. If the Commanders get the upset win tonight, I say for business and for the opportunity to potentially make the wild card, you put them back out there. If the rest of this game that we see here in a little bit when we watch the second half, if that goes to show that they don't have enough in them to win this game, when this game ends, the question should stop, because even if you win five straight games after tonight, there's no way. There is absolutely no way that you will make the playoffs with an 8-9 record. So
I was just about to say, who do y'all have left?
we have,
So say you win, and then we have
after the Broncos next week, we get a win, the Vikings, because JJ McCarthy has not played well, and he's still on the shelf with a concussion. So he's out. The week after that, we got the Giants. Jackson Dart is back because he starts tomorrow night against the Patriots. But the team around them is pretty banged up. They don't have Neighbors. They don't have Scattaboo. And they need a lot more help with that offensive line, just like we need some help during this offseason. They got to make some more moves. They got the Eagles at home on December 20th. On Christmas Day, they host the Cowboys. And then for the last game of the season, they got the Eagles. So the last 4 games are divisional games. You got the Giants, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Eagles again. So it gets really tough after this Vikings game. So they really need to win tonight. They need to beat the Vikings. So if they win tonight, they bring back Jayden, they beat the Vikings, in my opinion, there. You play the Giants, regardless who the quarterback is, I see them beating the Giants. Because the Giants want a good pick for next year, too, at this point.
Exactly. You're
going to lose both to the Eagles, and you're more likely going to lose to the Cowboys on Christmas Day. So regardless of what you do for tonight in the 2 games after that, that would put you at 6-8 before the last 3 games of the season. I still think you finish 6-11 at best. Your best option would be, like you said, would be to sit Daniels for the rest of the season. Even if you finish with a 3-14 record, you won't get the number 1 pick, but you'll get a top 5.
You'll get a top 5 for sure. Yeah.
If it's a top 5 pick, there's a lot more options that you have than you would if you had a top 15 pick, because you literally, the difference in what those last 3 games of the season can be would be probably 10 draft pick spots, in my opinion, or maybe even more. So your best would be to do what you said. I'm just going to bend the knee.
Who would you draft? What position would you draft?
That's a really good question. I like our running back. I don't want to replace that. Plus, you can find some other second and third string quarterbacks to help give depth easier than it would be to just try to go for the home run in a draft. There's not in Scattaboo. They got him in the 5th round, so you can get a running back anywhere.
Right? Yeah.
Wide receiver, no, because you just locked up Terry and you got other options there. They've addressed moves within the offensive line this past year in the draft and in free agency, but they haven't been consistently healthy. So
it makes sense.
I don't think you really need to necessarily draft with the first pick for the offensive line. If I were them, I'd look for a pass rusher that high up in the first round. Since you lost Montez Sweat and Chase Young, there has not been enough pressure on that defensive front on defense, and they have given up a lot of points. You gave up 44 points to the Lions. You gave up 38 points to the Seahawks. You gave up 28 points with only scoring 7 to the Chiefs. You gave up 25 points to the Bears with only scoring 24. You gave up 44 points to the Cowboys. You gave up 34 points to the Falcons. You gave up 27 to the Packers, and so on. They've given up too many points. And this defense, who played pretty decent last year, was part of the reason why Von Miller came over here on this 1-year contract, who more than likely will not be back next year. So,
dang, I forgot you got Von.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So, you got Von over there. But he's at the tail end of his career. He saw that the Commanders went to the championship game last year and thought that he could be that additional spark along with the other free agents and draft picks this year to help get them over the hump. And unfortunately, whenever there's a team, no matter if it's the Commanders or a team that has come back from a year where they've had just a flash of success that came out of nowhere, and there's much hype on them for the next season, it seems that the injury bug gets them every time. The only team that I've seen that's consistently survived it has been the Chiefs over the last half decade.
That is true.
Over the last 20 years of football, if we were to go back that far. So
that's true.
The team that has sustained it and found ways to win is the Chiefs, even though I think that they have literally stretched that too far when it comes to 2025. They're not going to do that this year, the Chiefs. The Commanders definitely aren't doing it, in my opinion. And we are at halftime now with them. Well, 20-some seconds left, but pretty much halftime. The Broncos just scored again. They will be up 14-7 at halftime. But for this, I got to bend the knee. Even though I had to say for the sake of debate, I had to try it. But I will bend the knee at this one. Six says, going back to, I don't know about Austin Theory. Isn't he known for being – oh, we already went to that one. He said, my bad. That wasn't my intention. So, because the vision is malcontent as well. And Six says, I'm in. Jayden needs to be protected from himself. His health and longevity should be a priority for the franchise that they should have learned, even though it was different ownership, back from the RG3 situation.
Right.
And his question is, Deebo Samuel is pretty injury prone, isn't he? Yes. When you look at his time in San Francisco, it transitioned, and now that's why they only gave up a 5th-round pick for him, because the potential for this to happen did come true with him getting hurt this year.
What's his contract look like now?
It's a 1-year deal. He's got a rental, so they get a rental with him like Taylor Ward in Baltimore. So it was literally his year to prove if he's worth a 3 to 4 year extension and who gives it to him. So right now, I would say not Washington. Because even though he's had a few splash plays this year, it hasn't been consistent because he's been banged up. The entire offensive wide receiver core has been banged up. He's going to have to prove it in these last 5 weeks if he's worth it or not. And if the season ended right now, I would say no.
Mm-hmm.
Because tonight he has 2 catches for 9 yards in the first half.
Yeah, he won't be back.
No. Zach Ertz has had 3 times the amount of targets as Deebo tonight. 6 targets, caught 5 of them for 45 yards. So when your tight end, who is 35 years old, just turned 35, has a Super Bowl ring, was a big part of your team last year that helped you get to the NFC Championship, is still the one you got to ride the coattails on when you brought in somebody like Deebo Samuel during the offseason. They are not going to renew that contract. And if they do, they don't care about winning.
That's true. That is true.
But one person who cares about winning is Brother Hugh. And it's time that we go to that part of the show where we look back at the Vault of Fame.
Acknowledge me.
That's right. We acknowledge Brother Hugh in the Vault of Fame. He is now a Booker T, a five-time Vault of Fame inductee, here with episode 127 of the In or Out Sports Debate. Brother Hugh now locked in the vault once more with all of these golden individuals and all of the dimes that have been dropped of the past. Brother Hugh is now here once again.
Yes, sir.
5-time.
That's it.
And to acknowledge his 5 times, let's look back at those 5 times and the others who've been here before this episode.
Acknowledge me.
You know, I want to take this time to kind of shout you out, Drew. You have taken a concept and made it into a whirlwind of fun for a lot of people. I know for myself. Dude, I am proud of you, man. I want you to continue to do what you're doing. But the concept that you came up with, how much you put into it, how much you've changed it, how much you add to it, the work shows, man. So kudos to yourself. Round of applause for you, man. And just wanted to say thank you for having me on again. It was a lot of fun. Look forward to the next one.
Shout out to Drew for letting me come on the show. It was a lot of fun. Honestly, didn't know what to expect coming into this, and I am super happy that I agreed to come on to this because it was a blast, well-produced show. Honestly, extremely impressed by all the effort you put into this show, Drew. Thank you for having me on, and I look forward to coming back on in the future.
Man, you took me back. This is why this show was so important, and this is why I am personally validating and vouching for this show. If you are anybody in media, sports, professional wrestling, anything, you need to be on In or Outs Sports Debate with my man Drew Willingham, because this has got to be one of the most fun things I've ever done in a long time.
There it is, the Vault of Fame, Brother Hugh. Now the only person behind these other 5 to be at 5 times on the Vault of Fame. Got to climb that ladder a little bit more. We got to get him to double digits in 2026 if we can make it happen. Let's make the scheduling happen. Let's get my brother to double digits on the show.
Very kind words from my brother, Realness, Dwayne Allen.
Yes.
100%, yes.
Yeah, I had to have him in there because with that, he was actually, before I put the others in there, he was in there for so many episodes, just him talking with that. But as the list kept growing, and then his speech would talk, and then there would still be the music. I was like, there's other people that have said stuff. We gotta get them in there,
right?
Make this extended. But he has been the face of the Vault of Fame speech.
Yes,
then to now. And that was his first episode that he was on.
Right
around the time that you were on. I think that was like episode 40. It was a while ago. So
yeah.
But with that, Brother Hugh is now a 5-time Vault of Fame inductee. And we got to take it on into our last segment of the show, the final word. Here, the final word. We're at that point in the show where no matter if it was something we talked about in the show or just anything in sports or entertainment in general, we got to let the people know right here with the final word.
That's good. The final word. The final word. Let's go back to wrestling. How are you feeling about wrestling nowadays? Because to be honest, wrestling is pretty awesome. From what I'm seeing. Think about the difference of the talent that we have nowadays and just the whole industry as a whole. There's not just 2 definite destinations for all of the talent that we have. There's a crazy amount of talent out there. Indie scene, wherever, whatever, WWE, AEW. It's not just WWE, WCW anymore. You have ways to navigate throughout the wrestling industry and make a name for yourself. There's ample opportunity, right?
Yep.
So with that being said, shout out to wrestling and how great it is. A lot of y'all clowns, I got to use my word. A lot of y'all gumps. Sit there and y'all talk down on wrestling, calling it the F word. It's not. It's not that. It's absolutely real. The t-shirt says it.
Yeah.
And the proud wrestling fans like ourselves, the other way. You know? We enjoy it. Just like you enjoy your little TV shows, your little soap operas, this and that, whatever. That's our soap opera. Let us rock. So, with that being said, I'm a proud wrestling fan. And I approve the message.
I approve of it too. That was gold. That was absolute gold, because people can say whatever they want about the F word. Yes, it's scripted, but the results are still very real.
Absolutely.
Power bombed on some plywood, okay? So you could shut the F word up, the other F word, okay? That's what I'm going to say with that. I fully support Brother Hugh's message out here in these streams. As there was a graphic I forgot to bring up earlier.
Oh boy, here we go.
Talking about wrestling. And we talked about this segment right here. John Cena and he got what he deserved at Survivor Series War Games. You know why he deserved what he got at War Games? Because he was John Cena for several months for what he did at Elimination Chamber, and that stoic look on his face right there, off to the right. John out here just gonna ruin wrestling. You didn't ruin wrestling, John. You helped make it better than it was.
Absolutely.
Because you are now a 17-time champion in one company. Ric Flair had to do it between two companies. And yes, you had to lose the championship 17 times. But you still had to win it 17 times to lose it 17 times. And even though what we saw in a heel run was supposed to be rated R, like one of your biggest rivalries, and Edge, the rated R superstar, Adam Copeland, we will just put the R in John for how you showed up out here each and every week as a John.
I don't want to keep you too long, but random question.
What's that?
That list of rivals, of John Cena's rivals, do you agree with that? Did you happen to see it?
Where was this list at?
I can't remember. I think it was Bleacher Report.
Okay. John Cena rivals. See if it comes up. And I'm sure it'll be news. Bleacher Report, 4 days ago, 10 greatest rivals. I'm guessing this is what you're talking about. Bray Wyatt, number 10. Shawn Michaels, number 9. Kurt Angle, number 8. Batista, number 7. AJ Styles, number 6. Brock Lesnar, number 5. Randy Orton, number 4. The Rock, number 3. Edge, number 2. And CM Punk, number 1. Is that the list you're talking about?
Yes. How do you feel about that?
List? Okay.
Would you make some adjustments?
Yes. I would not have put The Rock at number 3. They only had, 2 matches?
Yes.
Yeah, they only had
but
2 matches.
It was a year build-up, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, The Rock would just show up, like, for a promo. You wouldn't see him for 3 weeks. For 3 months.
Right.
Like,
right.
That's how that year went. When you really add all that time up, it was like a month.
That is true.
Yeah, of total storyline time. If I would rearrange this, I would say CM Punk. I would say Edge is number 1 because of the years that they had, and they would have had even more layers to that story had Edge not had to go out with the neck situation. Okay,
I can give you that.
And we got robbed of them not revisiting that when Edge came back from the injury. From all that time off, we got robbed of that. That should have been one of the first matches he had, and then figuring that out with Cena. I would put Punk at 2, so there's not too much of a change there. I would just swap 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock is definitely not number 3. I would say Randy Orton is number 3. You move him up from 4 to 3.
Rock can maybe be like a 5-6.
Yeah, Brock is definitely top 5. I'm okay with him being at 5, but my personal one would have him at 4. So I would have Edge, then Punk, then Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. And the reason why I have Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar in the top 5 is because their rivalries go back to even OVW. They came up together.
Right.
So because the amount of time they spent in the ring together, you deserve to have Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton be there. And you had more matches with Randy because Brock left for a while. So Randy deserves to be 1 up at 3 and Brock at 4. I would say this is where it gets tough for the 5th spot. Because he made his career and they had matches afterwards, I put Kurt Angle at 5.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
I like that. You have Kurt Angle at 5, Batista at 6. Bray Wyatt at 7.
Okay.
Because of that, and especially he probably wouldn't even be in the top 10, but the Firefly Funhouse WrestleMania that they had, that match solidified him being in the top 10. So he's at 7. I would say Shawn Michaels at 8. Bautista at 9 and AJ Styles at 10.
Okay.
I'm not mad at the ones that they have.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like the order.
Right.
Like you. Like they got the 10 right. Just the order of them is completely wrong.
I was definitely thinking Orton, Edge, and CM Punk. That's the top 3 in that order.
You got Orton at 1?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at it. Just because Orton and Edge, he had matches with them just as much for a world championship as he did the other.
Right.
And I like your selection of Orton better than mine, actually, because of what they did going back to even before WWE.
Right.
So a lot of what I said in my argument to have Orton in the top 3, it solidifies yours more for 1. So you have Orton, Edge at 2.
Edge at 2.
And then CM Punk.
Then CM Punk. Was Brock Lesnar really a rivalry though? Because Brock just beat the hell out of this John Cena all the time. Like
he did. But John Cena, for as much of a rep as others who didn't get the good rub, John helped bolster Brock's career in different aspects, even after Brock was big. Because when Brock left and then came back, one of the first matches he had was with John Cena to help reestablish how dominant he was in the company.
I remember that.
So,
that was right after Mania 28. I was there in Miami. That Raw, he showed up. Yep.
So, whichever way we dice this up, our 10 is going to be better than the Bleacher Report's top 10, in my opinion.
100%.
But I actually like you putting Orton at 1, Edge at 2, and CM Punk 3, than me having Edge, Punk, and Orton. And I only did that because of the type of wins that Edge and Punk got over on Cena.
Mm-hmm.
Cena helped bolster them up to another level that they needed to be at.
Exactly.
When it came to Orton, he was already there because he won the World Heavyweight Championship. He was the youngest to win it when he was with the Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like the wins that Edge and Punk got over Cena helped elevate them to the levels they needed to be at, as to where if Orton suffered a loss to Cena, it wouldn't really hurt him as if Edge and Punk did at those big times and those big pay-per-views that they won. They couldn't afford the loss there. So that's why I like them higher up on the list, but I actually like you having Orton at 1 more than me having Edge at 1. So
that sounds like we're pushing Rock all the way back to like 7.
Pushing.
I mean, to be honest, he's only on the list because of the star power.
Yeah,
literally.
That's it.
So I mean, he can be a 7, 8. To be honest,
he can afford it.
Yeah.
But I like how we were adjusting that, and we need to send our findings in with this clip of the episode to the Bleach Report and be like, yeah, this is why your list needs to be updated. All right. Even though it was 4 days ago, a lot has changed in 4 days. Bleacher Report. All right. And before we go, Sick Diggy says, hold on. You can't end this episode without Brother Hugh doing a spin on Rooney in honor of Booker T. He's a five-time Vault of Famer.
Hey, look, I'm glad you got that much faith in me, but that's not happening, brother.
Can y'all dig it, sucker?
That's right.
The blood, the sweat, and tears are real. They absolutely are. And he made wrestling even greater.
He did.
John Cena did.
100%.
As much as we wanted to hate on him back in the day for not turning heel, I was one of them, because there were certain moments where it would have been a great time to turn heel. When we look back on this year at some point, I will be happy that we got what we got.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to see him break the record of 16. He did it. He gave us a little bit of a taste of a heel run. He did all the work that he did while still shooting other major projects.
Yep.
And gave back to the WWE in the right way to end his story than just having some random match on Saturday Night Main Event like Goldberg did. Okay. We had an actual true run in 2025 that nobody else can take away from us, because we got it, and we still have one more time to see him. And the question I have to you before we go to the outro, are you going to be in DC for that in 2 weeks?
I am not going to be in DC. I wanted to be, but the way those ticket prices look, Nobody. I would gladly stay at home with some wings and some pizza and watch that on, Saturday Night Main Event. I might hit the streets just to be around, the wrestling fans and whatnot. But no, I'm not going to be in the building.
I thought sure. You and I are in the same boat. I thought about it because you're a lot closer to DC than I am. So like going to DC for me is like an hour and 45 minutes. And that's if I don't hit traffic. Right.
I'm literally like 45 minutes away. That's it.
Yeah. So you're a whole lot closer. Your drive to DC is like my drive to work every day. So not that bad, right? But for me to do that, you got to factor in nearly a 2-hour drive. You got to buy tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get food. You got to come back. Normally, I'll park the car at Springfield and hop the train over there because when you get off the shuttle, it's right there at Capital One Arena. You walk like a quarter mile and you're right there. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I'll just go to Springfield, which cuts out like another 40 minutes of driving, but it's still a good amount of drive back. And the last time I did that was AEW Dynamite's first ever show was in DC. I was there. I did that for that show, but I have not been back since. And then I looked recently. I was like, I know they're talking about the prices going up, but let's see. And I'm with you. I was like, man, I'll get some wings, some pizza.
You know what I mean? Like,
maybe even a couple brew pops, just hang out, watch John Cena. So
there's one thing that you forgot to say about John Cena and what and how great he is to wrestling. You got to think he actually delivered in the ring. All that talk about John Cena can't wrestle. You see the matches that he gave us during this last run, especially that AJ Styles match, which we like to call at the wrestling room the ode to. It's like a love story, that they told in the ring to wrestling, the ode to wrestling. But that was beautiful. I almost shed a tear during that match. I'm not gonna lie.
And he stepped it up against Cody too. As much as we want to throw some shade at Cody, the matches with Cody and with AJ Styles, and even to an extent last night, he still put a lot out there up into the run-ins that were happening. So
right.
I think regardless of who it's against, I think it's gonna be LA Knight. But regardless of who it's against, when we see that match in 2 weeks, it's going to be something special. But I'll let you save your pick for your upcoming shows because I know that's going to be a topic that you guys want to save. But for having you here 5 times, Brother Hugh, through 127 episodes, I greatly appreciate you, my man, making the time to be here with me. Look forward to doing this again. I promise it will not be another year and some change before we do this again because this is now back to being the #1 show on my platform.
Yes, sir.
You, Brother Guy, Dwayne, Brother H, we got to make it happen again. We got to have a quits episode, all 4 of you and me, and no computer that dies on here for this show one more time. We got to try to make that happen in 2026. But for 2025.
That's right. That's it. All 5 of us.
All 5. But for 2025, we'll sign off by saying we've only got one more thing to do and look at one awesome outro while Stu gets it with Brother Hugh on the other side of the camera over there. We'll see y'all here next Tuesday in 2 days with Darrell Owens. Everybody, as always, please stay safe out here in these streets.
Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.